All right, let's do some Mathity-Math. So here we go. Here's another problem we had in class that we solved together, but we didn't have enough time to really go into a deep explanation of why. What happened. So let's do it now. So we were given this situation, and we were told we need to rewrite it as this. And after we rewrite it as this, what would be the value of a? So that's kind of our starting point. And this is kind of like the waypoint or the clues it's giving you. And a big clue for this is understanding that we will have a denominator of 3 to the 5th power. That'll let us know we're on the right track. So we got to keep that in the back of our mind as we start the process. So first things first, if we look at this base 3 raised to the power of x minus 5, this should remind us of this exponential law. Let's see here. This one, right? This should be the same as a to the m divided by a to the n. And I think that's our first big connection. So I'm going to rewrite that just as 3 raised to the x power over 3 raised to the 5th power. And that's a good sign because look, just like that, we have that denominator we were trying to get. And then we're going to subtract that from 81. And because we're working with fractions, I'll just write it as a fraction. I think that helps us stay on the right track. So something kind of interesting here, and there's a couple different ways we can tackle this. But the first thing we should acknowledge is, well, our operation is subtraction. And when we're subtracting fractions, nothing can happen until we have a common denominator or a like base. Common denominator, which is not dissimilar to the concept of like bases, but yeah, it's called a common denominator. And we can handle that. We can just multiply, this 81 by 1, but not just any 1, by a fancy version of 1 like this. 3 raised to the 5th over 3 raised to the 5th. And if you think about it, 3 raised to the 5th divided by 3 raised to the 5th would be 1, because anything divided by itself is 1. So we can rewrite this now like this. 3 raised to the x power divided by 3 raised to the 5th power minus 81 times 3 raised to the 5th power divided by 3 raised to the 5th power. And again, if you look at our goal, we're getting mighty close. We're getting mighty close here. We have the right denominator. We have subtraction. We have a 3x. So really what needs to get resolved is right up here. And this is a really kind of interesting problem because what we're going to do is instead of having 81, we're going to try and rewrite 81 as a base 3 exponent. And so let's just go over here and do a little side exploration, right? So if we had a base 3 to the 1st power, well, we know that's 3. If you had a base 3 to the 2nd power, you know that's 9. If you had a base 3 to the 3rd power, well, that's 27. And if we had a base 3 to the 4th power, well, that's 81. Right? We can do that math in our head. And if you have a different way you like to do this or a more efficient or clever way, go for it and share it with the class so we can all kind of learn together. But so basically, we know that 81 can be written as 3 raised to the 4th power. So that gives me this situation. 3 raised to the x power over 3 raised to the 5th power minus 3 raised to the 4th power times 3 raised to the 5th power divided by 3 raised to the 5th power. So going back, thinking about this, 3 raised to the 4th power times 3 raised to the 5th power. Well, they got the same base, so this helps us remember that if you have a to the m power times a to the n power, that's the same as saying a to the m plus n power, and you see the bases are the same. So really all we got to do is add 4 and 5. And we have a common denominator, so really what this could look like is this. 3 raised to the x minus, that's going to be 3 raised to the 9th power because of this idea right here. And all that is the common denominator, so we can just unite it on top and leave it like that, and voila! If you go back and see if we can fit it all in, we can't. All right, so watch this. I'm going to draw an arrow and let's follow along. I'm rewriting this up here. 3 to the x power minus 3 to the 9th power divided by 3 raised to the 5th power. And if you watch, ta-da! This was the form we wanted to write it in. This is what we had, and we're looking for a, and you can see clearly that a is just 9. In this case, we rewrote it so that a equals 9. All right, there you go. If you have more questions about this, we can pick them up next time we meet in class. And as always, thank you for your hard work, and I will see you next time in the classroom. Bye.